Hello my friends, and look, let's just address the elephant in the room to begin with. I have hurt my hand, but this shouldn't come as too much a surprise. As the master of the ups and downs, if you watch Ups and Downs, I own the finger of power. Therefore, when I leave my house, if somebody isn't appreciative of my views, this is what happens. Now let's take this information and flush it down the toilet and never speak of it again. Because what is more important is that Roman Reigns right now is not only the WWE champion, he's not only the Universal champion, but he's a very handsome man champion, and he's a look how great my beard is champion. Basically, he's doing it all. Defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania cemented his place as the most important guy in all of WWE, to the point when you look at the roster, you start going, I don't really understand who's going to be able to beat him. But at some point, he does have to be defeated. This is how I think you should do it. Now, the best part of this situation is that as of me talking, Roman does indeed have 2 titles, because it doesn't look like we're going to do what we did with Triple H after he fought Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 18 and come up with a spangling new belt. Also, let's be serious now, USA Network, who hosts Raw, they're going to be going, excuse me, we want to make sure we have our own champion. And I get that it's ridiculous, and the best thing would be if we just had one world champion that jumped across both shows, but I've given up wishing for it because it's just not going to happen. Rather than just hand a brand new championship to someone though, much like Eric Bischoff did with the game years and years ago, why don't we use this situation to not just create 1 star, but to create 2 stars? And even though that may be unlikely, we should still talk about it, otherwise what is the point? So what do? Well, simple, we build 1 for now and we build 1 for the future. And let's start with the former. Because a certain human has just returned to the WWE fold as a super duper major star. And in fact, I would say right now, he feels like a bigger deal than he ever has done. And is probably the best babyface WWE has. And of course, I'm talking about Cody Rhodes. I mean, I'm not sure anybody would have believed you if 6 years ago you had said one day that Cody's going to come back to WrestleMania and he's going to have one of the best entrances of all time. But this is the whole point. Rhodes has gone out there. He has done every single thing he said he was going to do. So let's make sure we take 1 step further and do the final thing. Because during his first promo back, Rhodes said that one of the major reasons he is here is to win the World Championship, an honor that was taken away from his father Dusty Rhodes due to silly wrestling rules. Cody now wants to sort this, so straight away you have a simple storyline that everybody can understand. This is a good thing. So given that the brand split is just words now, and if you don't believe that, you haven't been watching WWE since 2002, we don't need to worry about how we get to Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. And let's just flub and do it. I mean, we only need 1 face-off between Roman and Rhodes to get people going, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And also, where else is Cody going to go to get a world championship, given that Reigns has both of them? I mean, he could go down to NXT, but I don't want that to happen. In fact, it would make me a sad panda. WWE also does love booking title matches after 2 people have a chat, so they can do that again. And we really need to ensure that we do this sooner rather than later. At the moment, it would feel like WWE superstar versus AEW wrestler, whereas in 6 months to a year, Cody is just gonna feel familiar because that's how our brains work. So you should really just pick any pay-per-view, premium live event, and just do it. Although I would actually go for Money in the Bank because this year especially, WWE wants to make it one of the bigger shows. In fact, they're even calling it part of the Big 5. The thing is, when you do that, Cody doesn't win there because of course he doesn't, and I'm sure you're already ahead of me. He is the victor of the match, but he only does that by count out, given everything we've just talked about. And you'll be there watching it and tears will be coming from your eyes because it's all about that emotion. This also sets up a rematch because of course it does, and when we are done with Money in the Bank, what's right around the corner? It is of course SummerSlam, yet another event that WWE has looked at and gone, man, we got to make this as big as possible, hence why for the 2nd year of the row, it's going down in a stadium. So you say that we're going to do Cody versus Roman 2, and there's no DQs, there's no countouts, there's no disqualifications, there's no nothing. It has to be a pinfall, and it has to be a submission, and that's right, you've already figured it out. Cody Rhodes does win. Once again, there's water pouring out of our vision devices, and what we would have done is we would have told everybody that Cody is a major deal, and now nobody can take that away from him. Now, I know so many people roll their eyes at this idea because they're like, Vince McMahon is never going to treat Cody that way, but I can only base it on the evidence I've seen so far. And again, look at that WrestleMania entrance. They basically took everything that was good about his AEW persona and they copied and pasted it for here. So as of right here and right now, I am going to be positive. I mean, it was these same folk that were saying, well, he'll never come out to the American Nightmare, and he'll never come out to, and he did all of that, so why can't he do the rest? And if you do go ahead and do this, not only have you created a major star that can go and hold up Raw, which it needs right now, but what's the next big pay-per-view premium live event after this? It's Survivor Series, and if we go back into the history books, WWE's favourite thing when we get to November is to do champion versus champion. So if somebody backstage desperately needs to have Roman Reigns beat Cody Rhodes, you can do it at the Survivor Series, because even though it is champ versus champ, the title is never on the line. So this means everybody is happy, 50-50 booking it is in full effect, but we've still achieved what we need to achieve, so that's actually something I'll be cool with. WWE also moves on from things so fast we'll forget about it, and Roman Reigns can still be the head of the table, the tribal chief, live on the islands of relevancy, whatever the hell he says, and just be going rah in the corner, everything will be fine. But also then eventually get to WrestleMania 39, where of course WWE wants to do The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and if Roman wins that one, he's instantly going to be thrown back into the stratosphere, because he will have just defeated not only one of the greatest wrestlers ever, but a dude who is actually one of the biggest movie stars in the world. This is where we get to round two, where we build a new star and the person that will actually end Roman Reigns' run of dominance. And if we're being honest, you can pick whoever you want. If Roman Reigns has gone through all of this and your nan walks down the aisle and pins him for the 1, 2, 3, every single fan is going to be like, well, that grandma, she's got the stuff. However, if we do pick someone that management is already behind and more than likely going to stand with no matter what happens, well, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one choice, and his name is Bron Breakker. Because regardless what you think of the man, not only does he have Steiner genes, but he has taken to this business as if it's the easiest thing in the world, and more importantly, like we've already talked about, the powers that be are desperate to turn him into a main eventer. I mean, he's already done it on NXT, and I bet he'll do it on Raw and SmackDown, and this is actually where the whole 2.0 thing works far better than before, because you can get to the main roster and actually be pushed, as aside from Vince McMahon looking at it going, nah, I don't want to do anything. This takes us all the way to WrestleMania 40, so once again, Roman will have another year of kicking everybody's ass, but Bron Breakker beats a who's who in WWE. He then goes to the Royal Rumble, he wins that as well, he challenges Roman, WWE ensures everyone goes, oh my gosh, this is the biggest match ever, forget what we said about Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, we didn't mean it, and then at that show, which is also the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, although it's not because that's not how anniversaries work, but you bet your ass that's what WWE will tell you. I'm off track here. Point is, Bron Breakker beats him, he becomes the WWE Universal Champion, whatever the flub you want to call it, and from that day onwards, you just built a new star. This is like in 2024. And by that point, who the hell knows what Cody's going to be doing, but I bet he would have smashed it, so you could do Breakker versus Rhodes, maybe Bron wins that one, and then forget about it. You have completely utilized and changed your roster. And isn't that the problem right now? I mean, we've already talked about it. You look at Roman Reigns, you think, man, he's got 2 belts to lose, but it's probably not going to be to Shinsuke Nakamura, it's not going to be to Dolph Ziggler, it's not going to be to Otis, it's not going to be to Chad Gable, it's not going to be any of these guys, so let's take 2 people right now, make sure they drink the magic sauce, and look, I've given you a 2-year plan here, so we can make a ton of mistakes and ultimately still get to where we need to be. And isn't this the point of giving Roman Reigns all of this magic so we can pass it across to somebody else? I think so. I mean, it's why we ensured that Roman beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, so he go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've done it. And also, in 24 months' time, surely Reigns is going to want to go and do some movies. He's already talked about that, so he can go do that. Eventually he'll come back. His star will be better than ever. But once again, do you know what benefits the most? 1, the wrestling industry, but 2, the fans. And never forget, when it comes to this craziness, the fans are probably the most important bit. So that is definitely what I would do, although I do have one more solution for you. You wait until Miro is out of contract, you bring him back as Rusev, and not only does he become the WWE champion, he becomes the Universal Champion, he becomes the IC Champion, he becomes the US Champion, he becomes the Women's Champion, he becomes Tag Champion, Women's Tag Champion, NXT Champion, United States Champion, and what other belts WWE has, not the 24/7 championship. I don't want Rusev to have that, and I don't know why I am talking about Miro here. I just miss him, and in my dreams, I see him being a world champion, so I'm hoping if I say it now, I will manifest it into existence. More importantly than all of that though, make sure you get in the comments now, and I want the 2 people that you think should do this to Roman Reigns. So I've gone with Cody and Bron Breakker. Who the flub are you gonna go with? Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this with your eyes and keep up to date with the latest wrestling news. We're on social media at WhatCultureWWE. I'm at Simon316, and we have a ton of videos. We are drowning in videos like Scrooge McDuck. Go and watch one. My name is Simon for What Culture. Thank you for watching me. As always, I appreciate it. Do not worry about my hand. I don't need any sympathy. If you have made it this far, it was just a wrestling injury. It's not that bad. It's only going to take a few weeks to heal. Then I'll be back. You take care. See you soon.